such an asshole.
Guys, you're going to have to clean up your requests because this is, well, I'll read it. Racist Cappy. What it do, man? This is Black Superman. Madavilloso on Instagram, which translates to marvelous one in a Spanish. Simple request here. I want to know if you could list out the traits, qualities of low-class women and how to spot them out in society. Now, the rest of this I don't need. And you guys got look, girls are not, communists are not, global warming are not. You guys, you young guys, you want to be leagues ahead of all the other guys? Get to the point. I'm currently working out of town in Minnesota, and man, from the bad drivers to dumb people at stores I service at a place, I could see why you left this place. Aha, wordplay. So as a man, I'll see women with nice bodies without weird colored hair, androgynous hairstyles, uncouth mannerisms, good word, and garnish body art that signal I'm crazy, but I still get a off vibe from some women. The aforementioned people I'm asking about typically look like snowflakes or suburbanite women who appear to have their bleep together. I'll see them being catty and social with people at the gym or inside stores, but when they see me, it's like, oh crap. Maybe I intimidate them due to me being tall and light skinned with handsome features, like I fell from heaven. Who knows? No. We all know it's society that's a problem. I know there are exceptions, but they're rare. We have to keep the mind door open enough to catch these exceptions when they come our way. But society in general is pretty pathetic, to be honest. We can argue against them. Were you on pot when you wrote this? Seriously. We can argue against them when they get pushy or brush them off and minimize our time, energy wasted on them. Hopefully, men could spot these crazies or stupid chicks so they don't waste their time thinking they have a shot with them and then end up just boosting their ever-loving egos. I ain't looking for any ass, but maybe this can be helpful to any other men on the prowl. Glabsy subsidized this video in the form of payment to you to help those poor bastards avoid washy biatches. I said, were you talking Minnesota women or women in general or women out in the sticks? And you said women in general. Minnesota is its own can of dumbass, so it's unique about its own culture here. You're right about that. So basically women from all ranges and walks of life. P.S. That's my lady, the girl you referenced. Yeah, she's good. She's in good shape. Oh yeah. You guys don't see the picture. I won't mention it. I won't show it, but he's a clean cut, good looking fellow, and he's got this cute gal on his arm, and she's in a dress, and she has a comely figure, if you guys can believe it. She's doing my keto plus intermittent fasting regimen, and so that's why she's looking that way. Well, God bless. She's good looking. I couldn't be happier. Good for you. I'm glad. All right, let me take another note here because you wrote so much and went all over the place. Because there's girls who are trashy or low class, but then you ask about, oh, then they look normal, and then I talk to them and they're off. And so that's not necessarily trashy. That's just something's off about them, and not in a good way. I guess they could be shy or something like that. So let me go through what I think are the traits of a low-class woman. Ladies, if you don't like this video, you could send in a request at assholeconsulting.com to say, what are the traits of a low-class guy? I'll do it. This guy paid me. I got to go where I pay. So you girls can fight back if you like. Sometimes when you're not going, you're just going to complain. So I'm going to go through the traits that I think, in order, the top low-class traits of, we'll just say, American women. And then we'll address the separate issue, which is, well, how do you identify? It's not necessarily low class, but it is, I don't know what you would call it, unnerving behavior, maybe unacceptable behavior, where you meet these girls and they seem normal, and then whatever, they react irrationally. This irrational behavior might be something inconsistent behavior you can't invest in because it's not reciprocal, logical, or ethical. There's some off about them. So let me go to my notes here. All right. So this is in top worst traits to have, like the least classy, lowest quality traits women can have. And then it gets less so as we go on. So the first thing, the single most low class thing you can do as a woman in the United States is to be a teenage mother. That is thankfully going away. And I may not going away, but it's less than what it used to be. Young ladies are making the correct choice, but I cannot think of anything that's more trailer trashy, ghetto, low class. Get her out of here. She's a teenage mom. And I don't mean like 18 and or maybe you're Mormon and you had kids at 17 married. I'm talking like 15, 16, 17. You know, you're still in high school. That's just the trashiest thing you can do. The second trashiest thing, low class thing, although related, is to have another man's kids. Now there is a difference between teenage pregnancy. It's like, well, doesn't she have other man's kids? Yeah, but they could do the shotgun wedding. They could stick together, and not every teenage girl is pregnant. Sometimes women in their 20s and 30s, for any age, can have another man's kids. That is the second trashiest thing you can do. Is you got another man's kid, and now every woman that isn't the mother of your children has other man's kids. I'm talking she's out there dating, she's out there looking, or she's single and she got another man's kids. That I would say is the second trashiest thing you could do. Third trashiest thing, these are all very closely ranked. Collecting welfare. Now, Democrats are going to be actually, TANF is a very small, no, I mean, any kind of government aid, Section 8 housing, WIC, TAMF, any bevy of local, state, and county and municipal stuff, Medicaid, anything where you're collecting other people's money that you didn't work for to either pay for yourself or your children. All right, you're a thief, you're a parasite. That is low class. Not even a parasite's a low class. That's it. Very closely ranked. This one almost made it up to just stealing from me. Not paying attention to her kids in public. Now, of course, not every woman has kids, but there's other things that are trashier, but not much this trashier than when you're out in public and the kid is just not being attended to. He's running around, pooping in the aisles, screaming and making noise, whatever. You know the type I'm talking about, where the kid could get hit by a truck and she wouldn't know it. All right. The fifth most low class thing you can do is be fat. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's not healthy. It's a violation of the eyes. It's a negative externality. Look it up. It is a negative externality. And that goes for men too. But that's just trash, just low class, being overweight. These are all very closely rated. You guys are gonna be like, oh yeah. I'm sure you guys have more, but I try to be pretty thorough. Very closely ranked for number 6 place would be a trashy car, room, or house where the girl's like looks like she's living in the car. Okay, I got the occasional coffee cup in the car, and I got, I don't know, maybe the occasional empty can after a road trip. I go back in and I clean it out. I'm talking like they don't live in it, but they look like they live in it. And you've seen those e-thoughts out there where they do the video or whatever, and the room is just a pigsty. Low class. Right? And keep in mind, we haven't talked anything about politics. Politics ain't even going to factor in here. You can be, and I would even argue, if we skew this based on political demographic, the country girls, having lived in Wyoming and kind of seen this a little bit, the liberal gals, at least they'll say, okay, you're some uppity New York, San Francisco, boss girl. I'm going to guess you got a clean house. I'm going to guess you're not collecting welfare. So this has nothing to do with, I'm expecting the girl listening to country all the time in her ex-boyfriend's pickup truck. That's what I've, oh man, I remember going to do site visits on property, and it was trailer parks. I'm like, what do you have against cleaning your yards? Why? So a trashy car, room, or house. Then this one, a non-physical but rather digital. overly attention whory on the social media. Everybody, male and female, on social media is to one level or another whoring for attention. Right? That is true. But I'm talking all duck lips, all pictures of herself. Like there's not a picture of, I don't know, a sailboat or a picture of a sunset. It's all her, and she's dressed like a slut. Just the me show. Low class. After that, your standard tattoos, piercings, odd color hair, or any other form of bodily mutilation. It's just low class. It's not I no. It's also conformist. It's just so basic. That isn't necessarily low class if you're conformist, but it's just it's not good. Being loud in public, obviously. I don't care if you're loud at home, but being loud. The cackle of women that come in drunk at a otherwise quiet restaurant or bar. Screaming on the phone, yelling at her kids, a person who doesn't understand the concept of public, that there are other people, someone who's truly solipsistic and is very loud and annoying. This one's kind of hard to assess. Lacey Gnome, attitude that she is amazing, yet she is piss poor and living on welfare. She thinks she's this amazing, she's just amazing. She's like, oh my God, I got respect and know your worth. Meanwhile, she is a dependent woman requiring welfare, food stamps, EBT, WIC, all that other stuff. It's not necessarily the hypocrisy, it's the distance between how she views herself, such arrogance, and then the actual reality, and she thinks she's just so awesome. I think that's trashy. That's low class. It's the opposite of being humble or simply silent and not bragging. It's one thing to brag. Bragging is low class. Bragging when the complete opposite is true, that's low class. Pajamas, sweatpants, or somehow clothing you should not be wearing for your body type out in public. When I see a girl wearing pink sweatpants, the brand name pink, that's why it's on the thing. Because I look at that, I'm like, trash. Just trash. Not to say it has to be pink, but any kind of sweatpants, any kind of pajamas. For a while there were adults wearing onesies. That was a fad. That was rank stupidity. But if you can't change into pants or a dress or a skirt or something like that, and you're just going to wear your Crocs, I guess I'd throw Crocs in there. Just Walmart fashion. Especially if you're overweight and you're wearing clothes you shouldn't, like you spray on your clothes with paint. No. But yeah, when I see that pink, I don't care how expensive it is. I look at that, trash. Just trash. Overdone makeup, hair, and nails or other accoutrements for a body type that doesn't warrant it. If you got a ton of makeup, you got your long ass Wolverine nails. You got, yeah, for the ladies, you got for the black ladies community, you got your weave, but your 3 bills. That's low class. Low class. It doesn't do anything. Again, the hypocrisy, but you're getting all done up and you're putting on this dress and putting on the hair and the makeup and doing your nails and everything, but it's on a hideously ugly body. Low class. It's not the worst thing ever. I mean, if it's tasteful, I guess. If you got to go to a funeral or wedding and you didn't work out for ages on end and you got to wear a dress, okay, I get it. But like when you're going out to the nightclubs, you're going to go out. No, it's just low class. And then listens to one of 3 groups of music. This doesn't automatically throw you into low class, but it doesn't help. Like if I met an engineer and she had her own house. It was in reasonable shape. Had a certain amount of etiquette and decorum when she went out in public. This would not throw you in there, but this just is more icing on the cake. If you listen to any music you were told to listen to, you're like, what do you mean? The corporate music that was created and you were told to listen to it. Nicki Minaj, Lilo, Lizzo, not Lilo and Stitch. Lizzo. I would throw Taylor Swift in there even. I know she's been around longer. I know she does her own song and sings her own music, but you were all told to listen to her. So that genre of music, corporate music that you were told to listen to, typically of the inspiring female, I don't need no man, wet ass pussy, those type of songs, trash. But I would also throw into that modern rap and modern country. Any of those three, that's several demerit points against you. Trash. I had to go to this restaurant. I didn't have to go to the restaurant. I chose to go to this restaurant. And I don't know why this restaurant, they got the country music video channel on. The whoever runs the place must like country. And I'm watching these country music videos. Oh my God, it's horrible. Everyone's crying and sad and lonely. There was some kind of song like drinking my day away. Like, really? That's the song you came up with? Oh, it's just horrible. And they're all driving old vehicles. I guess that's the thing. They're all driving old vehicles, old pickup trucks. And everyone's real sad. And the girl always looks lonely. And she's got some kind of pose with her arm and like leaning, looking. Oh, there was some fat, I think he's part Latino country singer. And he was in this boxing ring with girls and he took out his flip phone and he's all sad. Oh, God. You boys are trash too if you listen to that. And then the rap, just don't even, if it hasn't been made in the past 25 years, get out. I don't care. Boomer. Yeah, okay, whatever. And so those would be in order traits of low-class women and sometimes guys as well. Now, the stuff you're talking about where they seem normal and then you talk them and they did not necessarily display low-class behavior, just odd behavior. Well, there's no other way to tell until you interact with them, frankly. I mean, if they physically look normal, the first thing you can assess about anybody is what they look like. And as long as it looks like they're not tweaking out and their eyes are going crazy and they have all their teeth, it's not until you actually interact with them do you know anything more about them, specifically whether they're low class or not. I would assume you could probably assume 80% of people, you could stereotype in other words, it would be efficient to stereotype. Let's say I see a girl, woman, a la Coach Greg Adams, wearing a pencil skirt, sharp heels, smart blazer, and looks like she's on it. She's put together. I can assume she's not low class. I'm gonna assume she's a corporate. I may not like her. She may not be seen, but I can look at her. I'm like, okay, I bet you her room is picked up. I bet you there's a trash in her car. She might have another man's kids, and that okay. Now we're talking trashy. But in terms of social interaction, at least on a professional and introductory level, I'm gonna assume it's gonna be Seville. It's going to be polite. There will be some manners involved. But let's say I meet some gal, looks on a thing, and her behavior is odd or throws me off, or she's late, or she yells at me. It at that point, whether it's low class or not, that doesn't matter. Just whether she's sane and stable. That is what you have to assess post immediate first looks, first impression type of thing. And sometimes people can hide it. Sometimes people act real nice. But if you run into girls in general and you talk to them, let me go through what you said in particular. Nice bodies without weird colored hair, uncouth, garnishment. That's saying I'm crazy. You get off 5 women. I'll so as a man, I'll see women with nice bodies without the weird colored hair, androgynous hairstyles, uncouth mannerism, garish body art that signal I'm crazy, but still I get a off vibe from some women. The aforementioned people I'm asking about typically look like snowflakes or suburbanite women who appear to have their bleep together. I'll see them being catty with social in the gym, but I'll see them with me like, oh crap, maybe into what I think what that is probably is they are attractive women or at least put together women and they are constantly flooded with attention. And so any kind of interaction they immediately assume like you're working with them, all right? You're servicing them not in that way. You are doing your job and they are used to any interaction with men being one where the guy is interested in them. And they do pick up on like, whoa, dang, like that. Like now you could be very attracted to them and yet have no intention of hitting on them, but they'll still pick up on the, oh, dang, look at her. And so I think that's probably the majority of it, where if it's a suburbanite girl, typically come from higher income, if they're put together and look normal, they're probably getting a ton of attention nowadays because they're one of the few gals that don't have purple hair or overweight or wearing pink undershorts at the Walmart as they use their EBT card to pay for their mother's rascal rental. Whatever people do at Walmart out in Wyoming. Uh, so if I could see that's probably that standoffishness. That's 80% of it. But then if you get to talking to them and they're still a little weird, who knows what it is? And you shouldn't care what it is. It is what it is. If there's kind of any kind of aberrant or inconsistent, I don't want to say mentally ill, but or insane. That's too strong a word. Any illogical behavior, any illogical thing, there's something off. May not be bad, doesn't indicate low trash or low quality or trash. It's illogical, which means you can't follow the pattern, which once again, you can't invest in that. And so your time, whether it's trying to do a job, trying to hit on the girl, trying to get directions, it's people need to be on their game. And it's gotten worse. I will say this because you're younger than me. In the olden days, and by olden days, I mean 25 years ago, this is 100 years ago. In the olden days, people were on their game when conversing. Hey, I need to find 48th Street in Marquette. Do you know where that is? Oh, yeah. I know. Oh, no, I don't. But yeah, I think it's over there to male, female. There was this base level of interaction. I don't know if the younger people don't have any social interaction or have been looking at their phones all the time and they're just like, someone's talking to me in public and it throws them off. But I think they're getting dumber. Maybe not by IQ test scores, but certainly in this regard, where it's like, I have a question that requires response A or B. And then they give you C or F or Q. And you're like, whoa, the words coming out of my mouth, is that way north? Why do you want to know? I did because I'm lost. I just want to know which way is north. I got to find my car. I would never not know which way was north, but an example of other people. So I wouldn't, if they're acting weird, man, just like, oh, okay. Here's the other thing. It's a lot of times they don't want to interact with you. They don't know how to say it, or they're thrown off, but they're not functional. You can't interact with them. So I just give people a wide berth. I just step aside. I step around. More commonly, especially when it came to dealing with uh, the house, building a house, auto repairs, going into any department store, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, you just got to take things into command. Don't ask the people, "Hey, is this where I find rakes?" They don't know. They're barely verbal people. You got to go grab, you got to look it up on it. So I think as people get dumber, you're going to see more of this odd behavior that doesn't necessarily make people irrational or low quality or trash. But you're just do not confuse it with low quality or trashy type of people. So, all right, there we go. Link below if you see your dad would have taught you this. Hey, look out for these things. These people with their twitchy eyes, look out for that. So, link below. There's a link to my course, The Dad You Never Had. Your dad should have told you to avoid trashy people, especially you girls. A lot of that list could be applied to guys too. Just flip it for dudes. He's wearing a mullet. It's pretty trashy. His pants droop below his crotch. That would be number one right up there. If his pants are drooping below his crotch, pretty trashy. But if you didn't know the signs of trashy people, go get the course, The Dad You Never Had. 12 hours of advice that your dad should have given you but didn't. That is linked below. And now let us go through the super chats because we have some. I'm not joking. I think I'm going to go wander in the desert. It's been a bad day. Dealt with stupid people. I dealt with criminal people today. Legal crime. It was legal, but I dealt with people trying to commit a crime upon me, and I busted their asses. Broforce, new guy, $10. Great job, Cappy. Thanks for the data. Yeah, no problem. I mean, we could kind of figure it out. I mean, that's my opinion. I know you guys. There's probably one better. I was impressed. I was like, I had to sit. I was like, what's really trashy? I'm like, oh, the girl with the Chevy Cavalier that has the world shit in it. That's super trashy. I didn't want to say something as oh, she lives in a trailer park. She lives in the barrio or the ghetto. I mean, okay, but I was like, yeah, a dirty car is really trashy. I'm sure you guys have others that you can add. Walker Hall, $2. Having an abortion is up there. Yeah, I hate to talk about such a sensitive topic, but you're not wrong. Like, why couldn't he use birth control? Yeah, that's up there. Like waiting until I can understand the after morning pill or something like or early on. Oh, dang, first month. But yeah, if you wait 5-6 months and like, oh, and then you're proud. Yeah, trashy is just having one. Psychotic is where you're proud of it. That's a whole new level of crazy. Rusty Fuel, $2. Are you making fun of my underoos? No, I'm not making fun of your underoos. I had underoos as a kid. I was fortunate. That was one of the fancy things I had when I was a kid. Who would make fun of underoos? I got a Snoopy shirt on. You see my Snoopy shirt? Love cartoons. Do they even make those anymore? Is that too much fun for the kids nowadays? SJ 220 Canadian. Did you ever forget a date based on their major? No. I forgot dates because getting stood up was so common. Well, it still is. That I would sign up for other shifts. And also keep in mind, a lot of times, I mean, I was full-time school, full-time work, and I basically worked 2 jobs out of college. And so I was busy. And so, yeah, I would always be having another shift. I'm trying to think of an instance where I wasn't working. But it had nothing to do with their major. I didn't. Blanco boy, $2. Because of your videos, I'm living on 1,000 a month and putting 4,000 towards. That's awesome. By the end of the year, I'll be debt-free and building a net worth. Many thanks. Well, good for you, Blanco boy. Glad to hear it. That's good to hear. Goth Rocker, $10. Cappy, the future is so screwed. Ordered a new TV, of course, wrong size. Oh, was that your fault or their fault? I believe it's their fault, right? I'm going to assume I want the 40-inch TV. I hate to buy a TV online because it will probably get damaged, but we can't even get the TV size right. No, I know. I went in to get my teeth cleaned at a dentist today, and then they're like, oh, we got to have the doctor come in. I'm like, no, I had my dentist back at home send you guys the x-rays. Oh, we can't use those. We need to no, get out of here. No, dude, people cannot. It's going to be hard. I want to go through multiple days recording, just going out in public, the number of mistakes people make that cause economic inefficiencies, like the economic efficiency losses of the day. But I want to come up with a percentage of times people make mistakes. But as an example, with you buying the TV, that is many people along multiple decision nodes to all make the right decision for you to get the TV. And so out of, let's say it's 20 decisions from the assembly to the shipping on the container to the marking and the someone of the 20 people's hands that touched that TV, one of them at least had to screw up. One of them. And I'm saying out of the 20 decisions, what percent were made right? Which then we could calculate what percent of labor is wasted within this economy, and then what is the potential to increase our GDP and our wealth without having to do anything with policy, just simply getting people to not make mistakes or just be completely unethical scumbags. That's another thing right there. I'm no big Democrat, obviously, but man, you cannot just let corporations go and do whatever they want. You all brought the government dick of regulation into your own anal cavity. You brought it in yourselves, boys and girls. Zeranx, $10. I was listening to the Chris Williamson. He posted on Twitter, the 10 million unfilled jobs was mentioned. I don't know where to find out what those jobs are, nor where they're located. Do you? I don't know. It was 7 million. The 10 million jobs unfulfilled. That's been quoted a while. I go Department of Labor. I'm sure you could search millions jobs unfilled, and there'll be some article that kind of cites what type of jobs. They're not fancy jobs. I know that. Well, okay, I take that back. Obviously, there are some good jobs in that 10 million engineering, accounting, actuary, trades, obviously. But a lot of them are just, food service, which is fine. I don't know where to find out what those jobs are. No, go to Indeed.com, see what's open, what they're paying. Rusty Fuel, $2. You were making fun of onesies. Wait, aren't underoos just your boxer briefs with cartoon characters on them? Are underoos now the onesies? Because in my day, in the 70s and the early 80s, underoos were just your underwear. It wasn't the onesies. Onesies were, I don't know, those are your sleeper pajamas. I'm talking adult onesies where full-grown adults wear them. That thankfully has gone away. Goth Rocker, $10. They screwed up. I had the right size ordered. They screwed up. Love your economic efficiency, Las Vegas. Yeah, it's a horrific loss. All these problems, we don't have enough money and all the deficits. I'm like, if we just cut our mistakes in half, we would solve most of our problems. If we taught people to be thorough in their jobs so we don't have to do things 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times, we'd easily generate the economic production to pay for most of the stuff we'd like. But we have too many stupid and lazy people. Is that all? That's all. That's all. That's all. Let me make sure I got everything. Boom. That's it. All right. So, link below, the dad you never had. Look out for low trash people because they're like zombies. If they're low trash and they infect you with, I don't know, having a kid with you, you're low trash. You're low quality trash now too. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.